He forgot my anniversary.
It's your anniversary too.
Okay.
Super important for me to realize, and did you?
No, it is a chair. Oh shit.
You know when you do a noise and like it sounds like a fart, but then like you have to do it again or else someone thinks you farted?
Yeah, that's exactly what I just did.
Hi everyone!
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, this is my wife Jasmine. My name is Dawood and we make all sorts of videos together.
So this is the part 2 that all of you guys have been asking for. Majority of the comments on our last video are like asking us to do a part 2 like right now, and here it is. We actually ran into some technical difficulties, so it took us a little longer to get this video up. This is actually our 3rd time filming this video, so we kind of have this story like memorized word by word. But we still wanted to make sure to get this video up for you guys, and before we do that, we just wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. We use their community a lot. I'm a super creative person and I love watching videos, of course, and I've got Dawood on it as well.
Guess who's become super creative?
Yeah, he's been taking the photography classes because he takes all my pictures, and he's basically my photographer. We've had him kind of touch up his photography skills.
It's gone better, don't you agree?
Yeah, he's definitely taken more control of the camera now, and he's way more confident, and he kind of knows all the little tools that he needs to create like awesome content, so I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, you guys should check out her Instagram to see all the pictures I take of her.
Yeah, they're getting better. They're definitely getting better. So for this video, we wanted to highlight one class that we are loving, which is Wink Wink, the merch class. They have a class that teaches you how to create awesome merch for whatever brand you're creating, and this is a little hint that we're working on something special, inshallah.
Don't tell everyone all our secrets.
As always, we have a link in the description box down below for you guys. The first 1,000 people to click on that link will get a 2-month free premium membership to Skillshare, so you'll have access to all the videos in full, which is amazing, and you guys can do some learning.
It's super useful, guys. It's like Googling something but actually getting an answer.
Yeah, true.
Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will really appreciate it. You can even follow us on Instagram. Her @ will be right here, and my @ will be underneath me here.
Okay. Anyways, let's get on with this video. I know that you guys came here for this, so
it's part 2, baby.
Let's do it. So basically, we kind of carried on the beginning of our relationship through text for the first little while, and then I had exams around that time, so I wanted to focus completely on that, and that's what I did. I ended up finishing exams, and I also had a trip to LA planned as like kind of like a getaway after exams.
So when she told me she was going to LA, I was like, wait, no, I have to see you before you go to LA.
I'm like a true believer that text doesn't like show you everything about a person.
Yeah.
You really have to see them in person, like in real life, and see them especially in like social atmospheres to see how they act and how they talk and, you know, what they do out and about. So I felt like I really needed to see him even though I was so tight on time. So we ended up deciding on meeting each other for the very first time, and I was super nervous, but I knew that I liked his personality based off of our text messages.
Yeah. So each person, before they start texting, when they text, they're a different person when they are in person. You know, so texting, you can be so strong and confident because you're hiding behind a keyboard or you're hiding behind your phone. But when you're in person, it shows your true self.
Yeah,
you don't have time to think. You don't have time to think. You get someone's first initial reaction to things. You read body language. Through text message, someone has time to think. So
that is basically how our dating kind of relationship started, quote unquote, because we call it dating, but technically it doesn't really go by the Western standards because there is no physical affection, I guess. I don't know, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Physical what? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was just mainly just kind of getting to know each other, and this involved like obviously texting at first, and then we started meeting up, and then our parents met, and so on and so forth. So our dating like phase of our relationship was very like, it was almost like I think they call it courting.
Courting?
Yeah, courting is when it's like a religious I don't know if it's religious, but it's like when you are getting to know each other without the sexual / physical aspect of a relationship. So you're courting, basically, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. There was not this. There was a bigger gap than this when we were dating.
Oh yeah. There was
bigger,
like hi. There's different ways of dating, I guess. Like dating, we use that word loosely, so please understand that. But our way was getting to know each other in person in like a halal way, with having like boundaries that we discussed obviously over text, and we made sure that we were on the same page. I think that's really, really important. So just so that, like, let's say you meet up with a person and he has a different expectation of what your dating phase is going to be like, and then you have a completely different expectation, and then you guys clash. It's like he's expecting something, you're expecting something else, and it just doesn't work.
For sure, and it's very important to talk about that before you actually meet.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that conversation when it's too late.
Yeah, you don't want to like you go there and the other person like all of a sudden is like.
Yeah, and you're like,
what the hell are you doing? You know, you want to get into the right term. Like, well, you could obviously see it, but you don't shy away from asking. Like, make sure like
it's a very important conversation.
You did mention it.
I did.
Yeah, you definitely did.
I mentioned it. I mentioned it because it's supposed to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's something that's very important to talk about.
And like when she did see it, I did like respect it, no problem. I didn't like look out. Like, I can't believe she said that. I can't believe she thought I was gonna do that to her.
Anyone that has a negative reaction to your expectations, especially when your expectations are part of like an Islamic standpoint, like X them out of your life, because any person that's going to become your permanent partner or your lifetime partner should have an understanding that is on the same level as you. You know, they should have the same morals, the same values, or at least something similar. And don't be embarrassed by your Islamic standards or your morals or whatever, because at the end of the day, those are the true morals. Those are the things that you want to aim to be, and you don't have to match to a partner that doesn't have that. You know, you wanna be able to find a partner that's on the same level as you. I think that's what I'm.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So pretty much, we finally met, and like to keep it halal, we didn't want to do any like romantic dinner.
I don't even think it was like to keep it halal. I think it was more so like we didn't want it to be awkward.
Yeah, like, awkward. Like we don't want to like sit down and like see each other face to face, and we had to come up with conversation.
We didn't want it to be intimate. Is what we're trying to say. Like we wanted it to be more so like a fun kind of way of getting to know each other's personalities.
So our first date was actually at Yorkdale Mall. We literally walked around Yorkdale Mall. I saw her. I got there. I remember it was like a rainy day. Yeah. I drove there. I took the 407. Obviously, not most of you know what the 407 is, but I took the 407. I took the 407 because I was running behind. And
guys, the 407 is a toll highway, so he paid to see me. Oh my
Respect
God.
that. I got to the Yorkdale Mall. I called her for the first time. Saying,
yeah, that was our first time talking on the phone, guys. So we always used to text because I hate. Like I have phone anxiety, okay? Like I hate speaking on the phone. Like though today was like, can you call this like whatever this company and we need to ask them a question? I was like, no, I can't. He's like, why? I'm like, I just can't. Like I hate speaking on the phone. Every time I get a phone call, my heart skips a beat and I'm like, no.
So I called her for the first time and she like.
I was doing my makeup, guys, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer that.
So pretty much she answered with like, you know how most people answer, hello. She like changed her voice to more like confident, like, hey, how are you?
Did I actually?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I had just woken up and I had like the manliest voice ever, and then Dawood goes.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah. Dawood goes, wait, why does your voice sound like that? Are you sick? And I was like, yeah, I don't feel good. But I had just woken up and my voice was so like manly, and I just felt embarrassed to say that. So I was like, yeah, I don't feel that great, but I'm good. Don't worry, I'll be there.
So I ended up at the mall. I saw her right away, and the best part about when I saw her is it was so natural when we met. There was no awkward hi, like, and like, you know how there's like a distance. No, we were like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah, very
nice to see you.
And
we just like, okay, let's go. No one's like, oh, what do you want to do? We just went and lived in the moment.
Started walking and talking and trying on like funny clothes and
God.
Like.
I don't know how you got me to wear those weird clothes.
I went into Top Man and I grabbed like the ugliest pieces I could find, like literally the ugliest. And I mean, top end's not that ugly, so it's kind of like whatever. But I grabbed the ugliest pieces I could find.
I love
and and I was like, Dawood, you're trying these on. And he's like, why? And I'm like, we're just gonna have fun today. And he's like, okay. And I was so like excited that he was down to do whatever I was saying, because like,
so shy though.
Yeah, you were shy, but like you were also very like open to being silly with me, which I liked, because he wasn't like reserved and was like, oh no, I don't want to, you know, like he was, you know, it's nice to have someone that's open to be silly with, you know?
Was funny. After
we met up at the mall, we decided to grab dinner because we were hungry, and we had Hakka food, which is Chinese Indian food, and it was Dawood's first time, and now he's obsessed with it.
Yeah, she showed me pictures of it when she would go with her friends. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, it's very good though. It's very unique.
When I met Yasmin, I tried a lot of new things.
Yeah, like I put him on butter chicken.
Like, look at like my style now. Like,
yeah, I changed his style. Guys, I'm not trying to change him into a new person.
No, I'm still
but
the
like,
same person.
He's definitely still the same person. I just like, I don't know. I have fun with kind of helping him with his style.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. But now I have like a phobia to shop.
Yeah, he doesn't shop without me anymore.
You have to shop with me.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, because she's like, okay, I'm gonna look at the one. No, I'm like, you have to come with me.
Like every time we walk into a store that has like a men's and a women's section, he's always dragging me to the men's section. I never get to look at my own clothes unless I'm shopping alone. Literally, because he needs my full attention.
What do you think of this? I'll go try it on. She'll wait outside. I'm like, yo, Jazz, what do you think? I'm one of those guys. So that's nice. The jeans are ugly. Oh, okay. I won't get them. I'll get the shirt then. We did so much that day that like we didn't want to go away from each other. But I didn't want to go home, so we went to the mall. We had dinner. We went for dessert and we went for coffee. That's 4 things.
And then we chilled in the car after for like hours just talking about life. Yeah, so that day was really, really nice, and it just made me realize how much more relatable we are, like how much more in common we had.
I could tell by meeting up with you that day that you are who you were through the text message.
Yeah, like it showed you, like it kind of verified like who you're talking to.
Yeah, she wasn't acting, she wasn't pretending. I wasn't acting, I wasn't pretending. I was purely myself and she was purely herself.
And one point I want to make is that usually when I'm very confident over text, most of the time when I meet the person like face to face, I'm not confident. Like I get really shy and I don't, and I don't, and I'm not myself around them. But for some reason, subhanAllah, like when I met Dawood for the first time in person, I automatically felt confident. I felt comfortable. I was myself, and I even that surprised me. Like I didn't think I would be comfortable around like a guy like that. So I don't know, that to me was like the #1 sign. It's like you feel comfortable around them, not only on text but also in person. Like that puts your heart at ease. That's something to look for, if that's something you guys are wondering about.
You're so cute. So after that, we didn't see each other for a while after that.
Yeah, because I went to LA after that for like 8 days.
Still holding a grudge.
Dawood's holding a grudge because he didn't go to LA yet, but I went to LA, and then when I got back, we ended up seeing each other a few times, and at that point I think we both considered ourselves like with each other. Like if someone asked me like, are you seeing someone, I was like yes, and the same thing with you, I think. I hope.
I considered seeing you when I first saw you, March 22nd, 2018.
Wow, from the restaurant. You're right. We basically kind of considered ourselves a couple at that point, and that just meant like we were getting to know each other, and we both obviously had it as the intention of getting married. I think that's very important, because sometimes in relationships, like someone will think of it as like marriage in the future, and the other person will think of it as just a long-term relationship. So you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page, and the only way you can really find out is by communicating.
You have to communicate.
Yeah, we basically talked about these important things like all throughout our relationship, especially at the beginning. I made it clear that I never dated before because I wasn't interested in short-term relationships, and most guys that I met were that kind of vibe. So I made it clear to him that if I were to get into a relationship, it's only for the purpose of marriage. I don't have time to waste, to be honest. And he was on the same page. Like he was at an age where you were kind of like done with like the silly like going back and forth.
I was looking for something.
Yeah, you were looking for more serious, more of a serious relationship. So it definitely worked. Like we were on the same like page. So that's a very important factor when you're looking at a partner. I think. And yeah, that was our idea of dating, basically. We tried to make it as halal as possible. And that's also another thing I think we should mention, is that we discussed boundaries. We made sure that we both had the same expectations. No physical touching, none of that. Like, you know, like we made sure everything was like if our parents had seen us, they would approve of it. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? That's kind of the rule of thumb. Is that what they call it?
They say that, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. But that's what we had in mind. Yeah.
Before I even got like super serious with Jasmine, like of course like I had feelings for her. I had to know what her parents were like. I had to know like her parents were cool with me and all that kind of stuff. So I held back a little bit, and I remember I went to the beach with you. And I took her to Toronto Island. You took
me to Toronto. I took you to Toronto.
Yeah, she's from Toronto, so she knows all the cool spots. So.
Yes, I was the one who planned all our dates, like all of them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
What date?
I took you to the movies.
Which movies?
The VIP one.
Which one?
VIP one.
The one that I told you about?
I discovered it and I told you.
No, you didn't.
Stop lying to the camera.
The VIP one is right beside my house.
Yeah, you guys, I'm totally joking. She knew all the spots. But anyways, yeah. So we went to Toronto. We were sitting on the beach. You know, it was.
That was the last time we met before we met our parents.
Yeah, that is. So we sat down on the beach. I was wearing a red sweater. You remember that red ugly wet sweater?
I hated that red
I still
sweater.
have it, but actually no, I got rid of it. And then we were sitting down. It was romantic. You could hear the sound of the waves, the sand. We're sitting down. We were sitting on a lifeguard.
Lifeguard deck.
Yeah, and we're sitting down.
It's very movie-like.
And like it was quiet, and I was like, okay, like what's going to happen? And then I got this like feels and all that kind of stuff. She got the feels. No, we did not kiss. If you guys were trying to like think that, no. And I opened up to her in that moment. I'm like, listen, Jasmine, like I have feelings for you. I want to proceed in our relationship. I've never felt this way with someone before.
Aww.
Why do I just feel like I'm doing this? What the heck? And I hope like we could proceed, and I really need to meet your parents, so I want them to like take me seriously, and I want to get to know them, and my parents can meet your parents, inshallah, and from then on we will know what to do to proceed to push our relationship even further.
What did I say to you that day?
What did you say to me that day?
I was like, okay.
Bruh.
No, I think I said like I was on the same page as you, and I'm willing to take this journey with you.
You were so like, oh, you're so cute.
Yeah, because honestly, like it caught me off guard. Like everything was so perfect. Like the waves were nice, the weather was nice.
What happened to me?
We were alone. We were alone on the beach, and like I don't know, there weren't a lot of people around, and it's just like, and then he like turned to me and just like said it so innocently, and I love that, and it just felt like a movie moment. I wasn't practically like I wasn't even listening to what you were saying. It just sounded like
parents.
So I think from then on we decided to meet the parents, have the parents meet, and then like and us meet each other's parents. Yeah.
So before we actually met the parents, I went alone. Actually, I brought my sister with me to meet her parents.
Yeah.
It was during Ramadan.
He came over for iftar.
Like, I came over for iftar. So imagine meeting the parents for the first time and you're going to iftar. So it was a little like nerve-wracking because like you had to be polite.
But you killed it though.
I did kill it, but like you could see how much
like
you definitely see how much of a savage I am when I eat.
Yeah. You held off.
I held off. I was so
oh my
nice.
gosh, Dawood is like the most like messiest, like eats everything in front of him kind of thing. But like when he had iftar at our house,
like
he was like like literally like not even one bit of rice fell out of his mouth. He didn't even ask for ketchup. He didn't even ask for sriracha. Those two things that he can't swallow food without.
Did you notice how fast I got full because I didn't have those things?
Yeah, like he ate a little bit, and I was like, oh gosh, he doesn't like my mom's food, like the hell. But like I think he was just like nervous, and like he didn't want to overdo it, so he kind of just like played it safe.
Aside from that, I had to bring my sister along with me just so like it's not as awkward, and my sister was there to like.
Because I've known his sister for a long time.
So she helped out. So if anyone is ever in that situation where they're gonna meet the parents for the first time,
if you have a sibling,
or like someone that knows the parents or something like that, to like break the ice a little bit, just to like keep it easy, the attention's not all on you, then I recommend you doing that. So I brought my sister along for that reason, so she could help me out, like break the ice a little bit. And she knew Jasmine, so it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I did good that day.
Yeah, you did.
And the thing is,
my dad really liked you.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you meet the parents, you will be nervous, you'll be overthinking it, and then finally when you get there, you're like, okay, let's do this. And then you walk in, and then you say, are you ready to dreams now? Okay. If you haven't seen that TikTok, I have it on my Instagram where I met her parents for the first time. It was just a joke. But once you meet them, you're like, whoa, that's it. You just go into the zone. That's it.
Yeah, you get comfortable.
You just gotta live in the moment. You don't have to overthink.
Unless the interaction is weird.
Unless
the realize that the parents are not.
Yeah, unless you made it weird or the dad makes it weird. But the thing is, you gotta look good, clean, nice clean beard, nice haircut, dress well, and don't do all the talking. Let the father do the talking, let the mom do the talking. Get to know them. Don't show your hand too much. Just listen to them. Put your compliments there, say here and there, talk a couple words. Don't talk too much. Don't overthink your situation. Just let things come to you, and then you'll know what to do. That's what I did, and that's why I came out successful, and I won my dream girl. Okay.
For me, when I met his parents, it was a little easier because the attention wasn't really on me, because both his parents came over to our house and the parents were kind of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So they didn't really sit down and talk to me one-on-one. It was more so on him. But I was still very nervous because that was obviously the first time, and first impressions are super important. I just made sure to be super nice. I was myself, and I tried to make them feel comfortable at our house, because at the end of the day they are guests. And yeah, it went really, really well. Our parents got along, alhamdulillah, and everything went smoothly. And I think that's also another sign that I took as like it being like meant to be, because things were just going very smoothly and according to plan. And I didn't have to worry about anything. Like, all my worries beforehand kind of flew out the window, and I just felt at ease, basically. Yeah. And that's a really good sign. So
during that phase of meeting the parents, my dad brought up to her dad saying, let's do Fatiha a little bit. We did, they agreed, we did a big gathering.
For anyone that doesn't know what a Fatiha is, it's basically like asking for the girl's hand in marriage, but like in a formal way. So it's not like the whole Western way where the guy gets down on one knee and presents a ring and like asks for her hand.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't do that, and I'm still waiting on it. No. Basically, it's just the guy's family comes over to the girl's family, and there's usually a lot of family members involved, and they just formally ask for the girl's hand, and they say like, inshallah, like things go well, and they're getting to know each other for the purpose of marriage, and they say the Fatiha to kind of bless the relationship, and they go from there. That way the community knows that these two people are getting to know each other, and it's basically like a kind of like one step closer to the engagement slash nikah.
So in our culture, we were considered engaged, yeah.
Like during the Fatiha, you're technically considered engaged, but you're not really engaged, because engagement in the Lebanese culture, guys, this is very confusing. We're even confused, but engagement in the Lebanese culture is when you do your nikah, and then you are considered married when you move in together. Okay, so
we ran into like a huge problem with our fans. They were so confused about it.
Yeah, a lot of you guys were confused about it, and we're sorry, but it's just that our Lebanese culture is just like that, and we obviously want to honor whatever our parents consider us as, even though we know Islamically we were married while we were engaged.
That's why we traveled.
We were able to travel while we were engaged and all that, because we had the Islamic marriage done.
Yeah, so in the eyes of God.
Yeah, we were fine, but it's just that we wanted to honor what our parents' culture believed us as, which was engaged until we moved in together. So that's why we considered us engaged, yeah. But anyways, we decided to do our Fatiha, and we invited a whole bunch of family members, and we kind of sat together. We did the whole spiel meal, all that kind of stuff. And after that,
we went on for like 2 months. Like
yeah, for 2 months we kind of like, kept getting to know each other. You know, going out, doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like she didn't want to do our Ketubik right away. I wanted to do it like maybe like 3 months after kind of thing, and she didn't want to do it at all. She wanted to wait like a full year because she's so westernized. And
honestly, guys, like
she wanted to wait 2 years actually.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, well, okay, you make me wait 2 years. We probably just got Ketubik. We probably just did our Ketubik right now because that not mindset you had.
No, it's true. After we did our Tolbe, I was like, sick. We're technically engaged. Like we can kind of go out. We can do whatever we want. But obviously, we're still not halal. But there was still the halal gap. But like I still felt like, okay, like everyone knows we're engaged. Like we can go out like more comfortably. If someone saw us together, they wouldn't think anything of it. That kind of stuff. But after the Fatiha, our parents all were like, okay, so when are you guys gonna get officially engaged? Like with the Ketubik or the nikah, like when is that gonna happen? They started pushing for that, and I felt kind of overwhelmed because I didn't expect to do my nikah like 6 months after meeting someone, or less than 6 months at that point. And I always had this like Western mentality of like, oh, you should get to know someone for like 3, 4, 5 years, whatever.
Yeah, some people
and
say
then
you don't
get married.
So Western ideology, they say you won't fully get to know someone until you move in together. You learn so much more when you're living with somebody. Right, which is true. You do learn so much when you live with someone.
But it's not necessary.
It's not necessary. It's not like a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, no, it's not. So yeah, I just had that like Western mentality that I had to kind of get rid of, and I had to basically relearn what was right for me, and I had to realize that there is no timeline, there is no like standard. Every situation's different.
Yeah, and don't forget, when you're halal, like dating, getting to know somebody, there's no like touchy, there's no kissing, there's no physical affection. So all there is talking and learning about someone. You keep on learning with someone. When in the Western society, they go through humping, they go through physical activity, they kiss, they do all that kind of stuff. So they ignore the fact of learning from someone. Some people do
they get distracted.
Right? And
that's you're just focused on getting to know someone. Yeah, like
you don't need
like
that
a
much
crash course.
You don't need that much time. You really don't need that much time.
Yeah,
right? Because you learn each other. You learn everything about someone, not from a physical standpoint, but as a
mental, emotional, spiritual.
So as a mental, emotional, spiritual.
But
yes,
not everyone's the same.
Yeah, not everyone's the same.
Like I have friends that got to know their partner for 3 years in a halal relationship, and then they decided to get married. You know, and then I have friends that really close friends that got to know each other for 5 months, like us, kind of like 6 months, and then got married.
But also don't forget, when you're staying with someone for 3 years, you know, you're gonna be comfortable in that situation. Like you don't want to move on with anything. You're just okay.
No, but sometimes the circumstances are not right. Like for example, like the girl is still in school and the guy's still in school, or the guy's hasn't, like there's so many different circumstances. For us, it just made sense because like it worked out for us in our favor that kind of way. But keep in mind that we had our nikah and we were considered engaged in the Lebanese culture, and we were engaged for 2 years. So we just got married now.
March 2020.
Yeah, March 2020, and
March
we met
22nd, 2018.
Yes, 2018.
We got engaged August 26th, 2018.
Yeah, but basically, we were engaged for 2 years, and then we moved in together, and that's when we were considered married. I think we already have a video up on our nikah, like how our nikah happened, so you guys can check that out. In full detail, you'll see how Dawood messed it up big time. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
But, so we're not gonna get too much into detail about the nikah part, but that's basically what we did. Oh, but maybe we should mention, like, an important part was picking out the rings, guys, because the rings were, like, super important to me, because I've never envisioned a wedding when I was little, but I've always envisioned what my ring would look like. That's one thing about me. Like I never had like a fairy tale wedding in mind. Which is why I didn't have a wedding, because I didn't care for it. But the ring was something that I like really, really wanted. Right. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I had my dream ring, and that meant like I couldn't really pick something off of the shelf at like the mall or whatever, because everything that I liked was either super expensive for a very low quality ring, and it just didn't make sense to me to drop like $10,000 on a ring.
Yeah, so
that
guys,
was low quality.
Don't go to the mall for a ring. They steal.
They rip you off.
They rip you off, and it's in the store.
From our experience.
From our experience, and in the store they have the nice light, and you see the.
Oh yeah, and everything
ring.
looks shiny and.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get fooled basically.
You get fooled.
And we got fooled too, because we got our promise rings from the mall, or like from a retail store, and like honestly expensive. It was way more expensive than what it was worth.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Later on we learned that we could have gotten it like half the price basically. So
yeah, you want to tell them where we got our ring from?
We got our rings custom made by Livia Diamonds, and we found them by just doing like a random Google search, and I did like a whole bunch of research.
We did so much research. We learned
so
everything.
Much. We learned all about diamonds and everything, and then we found Livia Diamonds, and they were located in Toronto, where I used to live. So I ended up booking an appointment with them, and then we walked in. We're just like, okay, these are the types of diamonds that we like. These are the types of rings we like.
And he told us where we were wrong, like how we would start talking about like different cuts and
he showed us ways that we can kind of cut our costs without making the diamond look any different. During the process of planning our nikah and all that, a lot of you guys messaged me asking where we got my ring from. Because it is custom made and we did it on a budget basically, and a lot of you guys were wondering like where we got this custom made ring, especially in Toronto. So I like answered a lot of your DMs and told you guys that we got it from Livia Diamonds, and I just wanted to put it here on YouTube in case any of you guys were interested. So I also was in touch with them recently, and they said that if you guys mention us when you go and do your consultation or when you purchase our ring, they'll be sure to take care of you guys. So that's very, very nice of them. We did a platinum custom ring for Dawood as well, and I absolutely love it. I ended up doing my wedding band with them as well to match my engagement ring, and it's so, so beautiful. That's pretty much it for today's video. I think we pretty much explained like how our dating phase was, and then like how the steps were for us up until the nikah. Again,
don't forget, each person's different. This is just our experience. This is how we did it. Maybe some of you guys can leave a comment below and explain how you guys did it.
Because I know there's more of a traditional way of doing it. Sometimes like you may want to do it a certain way, but your traditions and like family cultures does it like a whole different way. So I would say just do it the way that feels most comfortable to you.
I even asked her through text messages, hey, like, which way do you want? Do you want me to come over to your house, knock on the door?
No, you're like, do you want to do it the Arab way or the white way? It was basically asking like, do you want me to come and knock on your door and be like, hi, I'm Dawood, I'd love to meet your daughter, or do you want us to go out and kind of get to know each other and then I come over? So obviously, my mom knew either way. Like my mom knew about him, and she knew I was going out with him and meeting him. So that's very important, guys. Make sure your parents are aware if you can. I would encourage doing it without your parents' permission.
I made sure her parents knew, just so I could feel
because it's more respectful and you feel more comfortable in your relationship. You don't have to hide things. That's just my personal opinion. But obviously every family and every household is different. So anywho, guys, that's it from us today. Don't forget to check out the link down below for Skillshare. Remember, the first 1,000 people to click on that link will get a free premium membership for 2 months. And I hope you guys enjoy that.
And there's one more thing. You guys make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. I'm Dawood. This is my wife Jasmine, and we're peacing out this time.
What the heck was that?
Bye, guys.